Hi guys, I have the call to share some knowledge to become a teacher today. I lost the interest of being a teacher for the past couple of months, years even. Like I produce much less video online teaching stuff for different reasons. I think that there's so many teachers out there, gurus, and it's just becoming like annoying seeing everybody like teaching stuff. And I was more in the phase, it's always like going inward, outward, and doing some shadow work, inner work for the past months and even years. It's been more about doing the inner work than teaching stuff online. So I will do it today because I have the calling to do so. It's very, very important, powerful knowledge that is really not for everyone. So disclaimer here, if you are sensitive to weird shit, it's not weird shit. We need to be careful about how we speak. As we speak, we create, and we need to be precise when we're using our words. The throat chakra is very powerful. So it's not weird shit, it's ancient sacred knowledge, okay, that has been perverted into quote-unquote weird shit in this actual reality, not the actual reality, in the reality that we are dismantling right now as incarnated star seeds. So this is what we came here to do. So here I am doing it, and I hope that you are doing it as well around yourself. But anyways, all that being said, I want to talk about a download that we had, like me and my friends back in the days about 5 years ago, when we were doing ceremonies out in the woods, doing psychedelics, mushrooms. And again, disclaimer about that, do not play with that. It's very sacred medicine, powerful, and it can backfire on you if you mess around with those sacred medicines. So yeah, and it's not the topic of this video, but I always like to put it out there, respect those medicines and don't overdo them too fast. Take the time to integrate after each ceremony that you do to stay anchored here in this reality, because I know a lot of people, including myself for a while, that we just then went flying out in the ether, and some are still stuck there today. So like different people that I know, so it can be tricky. So me, I've been able to come back here thanks to my queen that has my back and that does not accept any kind of bullshit. So that's the role of the feminine, to protect their males into the spiritual realm. So I'm protected. I have the best bodyguard in that regard, the best bouncer ever, and me, I am her bouncer in the physical realm, with my muscles and my masculinity, right? And my strength, physical strength. But this is not the topic of this video, but it's all important things to clarify. So yes, Shivambu Kalpa, it's urine therapy. 5 years ago, we got that download and we started doing that, me and my friends. Not many, that it's not everybody that is down to try new things and to break the program and to break the matrix, to go to actually like take action into those quote unquote crazy type of practice, okay? Because you need to be able like really to, it's such a strong program to be disgusted about our urine when it doesn't make any sense to be disgusted about that, because it's our own pharmacy. I think it's one of the most powerful biohack, and it's free. And now 5 years later, now I see online more and more people talking about that. It's becoming more common knowledge. So I want to make this video to further support, because I was doing videos about that 5 years ago, but I was just looking as a crazy guy to most people around. And it's not that I care. And 5 years later, to me, it's just like proven that it is very powerful and that it works. So I just want to keep doing it to normalize that kind of practice in our new earth type of society that we are building, where we are anchoring the real knowledge and just common sense back into the realm. So yeah, so Shivambu, yeah, so now there is that doctor, right, that I really like. I discovered over a decade ago, Edward Group. He shared very precise, powerful knowledge online. I respect the guy. His knowledge is on point to me. And he speaks a lot about urine therapy with good reasons, for a good reason. And what he said once stuck with me, and I want to repeat it, so it's not coming from me, it's coming from him. He said that he studied like the masters, you know, the masters, those real gurus and monks and those type of very spiritual people that are more advanced than you and I combined. So he asked those people that been into those kind of practice and spiritual path their whole life, like, what is your top 3 practice, the most powerful practice that you are aware of? Like, if you could summarize all your life into like the 3 main things, what is it? What are they? So what they said to him, and to me it just made common sense, there is like the 3 things. Shivambu, okay, which is urine therapy, is one of them. Then the smile therapy, when you can just smile. And sometimes, like, when you feel very bad, you just force yourself to smile and you flood all your cells with smile. But I won't digress onto that topic, but just the smile and internal joy is one of them. And the third one is sacred love making, which has nothing to do with the kind of sexuality that we understand and practice actually. And like once the Dr. Group said, like, demonic sex, the kind of sexuality that we know and that we practice. And it stuck with me, like, wow, that's a powerful statement. But the more and more that I think about that, the more and more that I understand why he said that like that. Like, this is the type of sexuality that we grew up with and in. And the more that I further my knowledge about sexuality and the more that I dive deep into that practice, which is a big part of my practice, is the more I know, the more I realize that I don't know. But again, sacred lovemaking is not the topic of this video. So back to Shivambu. We got that download again 5 years ago, and the potency of urine is difficult to describe. Okay, so we'll share something very personal. During a ceremony, I was on psilocybin mushrooms, and when you are into that state, you access like other dimensions, realms, we go on the other side of the veil. Long story short, for if you know, you know, right? I had a glass, so I put my Shivambu into it, and the whole ceremony I was just holding it. And it was so powerful because when you are in that state, you access like the energy at the deeper level much more than we are when we are here in the matrix, like sober. Different people have different capability when they are sober, but me, I don't have extra sensory or those kind of gift. I have my 5 senses plus my 6th sense, right? But not more than like normal, right? So I was during that ceremony holding it the whole time, and I was just tapping into the energy of my urine, and it was so profoundly powerful. And at some point I was moving and some dripped into my hand, and I just felt like the codes, you know, like Neo in the Matrix when he sees the codes. So I just felt it on my avatar, and I got that download and those codes that I cannot express with words, obviously, right? So this is when I realized like how potent it was, and that I understood that even when I am doing it, because I use my urine on a daily, and I will do a couple of demonstrations here. So even when I am sober, like now, and when, let's say, I touch my urine or if I drink it, I don't feel it like super powerful because I'm like into my limited state, quote unquote. But I know it is. And yeah, 5 years in, I think it has been life-changing for me. And I don't know how I would be if I didn't do it, because I did it, right? It's always like that when you're a biohacker. You do something, but you cannot really measure the impact, because you don't know how you would have been if you didn't do it. But today I know that I'm in a good position, and I am all about longevity. My intention is to try to crack the longevity code or hack and try to live a longer life as a human, because humans, according to my knowledge and understanding, and according to the teachings I received from my teachers from higher realm, because if you know me, we do a lot of channelings with Nyama, my queen. So she's an oracle, queen, channeler, mystic woman. So again, when you can be in partnership with the feminine on your spiritual path, you are in a different realm. The type of door that it opens when you have the feminine on your side, because right now there is a war between the masculine and the feminine, right? Which is a trap. Both polarities are required to work together as one, because the masculine and the feminine combined together, it's God expression. This is God to me. It's like God expression, both polarities working as one. But this is not the topic of this video. But with the knowledge I got from my teachers as well, I forgot my train of thought, but all that to say that it's very, 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 very powerful. Yeah, I'm all about longevity. Yeah, because I have a lot of things that I want to achieve in this lifetime. Oh yeah, and I remember basically what they told me. I asked the question and they confirmed, and it just makes sense. Like, humans have been hacked to live shorter lives. It's not natural to die at 80 all dried up and in the kind of state that people that of 80 years old are. It's not natural. It's not divine order at all. It's not love. It's not light. It's bullshit. It's a hack from the dark. We've been hacked, and I'm looking for the word. DNA. Our DNA has been hacked in not a good way. So we don't have the time to become super wise, because to me, when we are 80 years old, we're still like teenagers. Because it takes a lot of time to learn and evolve. And yeah, so at 80 is like you don't have time to become very wise and to live those like longer lifetime that we're supposed and that we used to live before, and that we are like our divine right to access, right? This is my actual belief and understanding. So Shivambu is a powerful way to help your avatar to stay in a better shape for a longer time. So yes, let's dive more into it. So every morning I collect my fresh, almost every morning. It's not a religion. Sometimes I don't do it. I'm too in a hurry or whatever. So there's different ways to collect the first morning urine. So you just pee a bit, you collect the midstream, and I don't just drink it like that. I like to, like water, right, to program it further, like to just pour my intention into it, to send it love, light, and just to be more conscious about it, and to pour intention and to program it with my intentions before to drink it. This is one thing that I do. I like also to shower with it. So I collect this jar, and this is information from Dr. Group that you can put few drops. I put about four or five drops of DMSO, something that I discovered many years ago. I already had the bottle with me, so 4 or 5 drops into it. So DMSO is very interesting substance, very interesting. So it's like a carrier that will like bring stuff in your body like nothing else. So when you combine it with your urine and with the MSO, it will penetrate much more than just urine alone. So there's a lot of claims that urine is probably the most potent skincare product to keep like your skin healthy, younger, healthier. I remember my neighbor was, when I was a kid, I had a friend, his mom, one time she was babysitting us, and she told us that when she was young, because here we are in Canada, so we have very cold and harsh winters, and when you spend too much time, like before when I was doing a lot of horseback riding and working on a ranch in winter, like all my knuckles and my joints will all cracking and bleeding because of the cold. When you work a lot outside and you build stuff outside and you need to remove your gloves and use hammers in cold weather, so my skin will all cracked up. And I was using like a cream glycerin. It was very, very good to heal that. But my neighbor, she told me that when she was a kid, her mom, which is like grandma knowledge, told her and her siblings to urinate on their hand in winter. So she was urinating on her hand to heal all that, and it was working. And back then I remember I was like mind fucked, like what? Heck, disgusting, urinating to urinate on your hand. To me it was just crazy, and I was like 5-6 years old because my program was already strong to be discussed by it, which is crazy. So it was working for that. So according like to Dr. Edward Group, is the most powerful substance even for scalp health, and to even he has the claim that it can also regrow hair. And so far I don't do that enough, because in winter it's messy. Like if I would be living in a hot country, I could do that all year long, to just put it on my scalp outside under the sunlight. It's much powerful. But so far Niyama can confirm, because I'm getting closer to my 50s now. I'm 47, so my hair is thinning, has been thinning a bit, and she can see, like according to her, there is a little bit more, it's more fuller than what it used to be. So it seems to be helping. So it's not, I don't have a full hair, like a head full of thick hair, but according to her observation, because she is my hairdresser, it's better. So that's anecdotal, but this is my anecdote, and I will see in the years to come as I do more and more of that, if it keeps improving or not, I don't know. But it's free. It's not like you have to spend a lot of money, and also it's very pleasurable to do that. Once you are back in sync with your urine, it's very like blissful to work with your urine like that. So yeah, so this is like fresh urine. So a more advanced protocol is fermented urine. This is another level. Okay, so I have 2 jars here, and I like to bring them outside under the sun. The sun is so powerful. So this one is we are in end of July 26th, and this one I collected in March 2nd. So it's a few months old, and I put the date here. So you see the color is very it's fermented, and you have like I don't know how it's called at the bottom, but apparently like the Egyptians were even like doing gold with urine. I don't know if it's true, but I know that when it's more fermented and you use it, you feel like little crystals, like sand. And I like to brush my scalp with it. Yeah, and I like to mix it, right, like that, very gently, and just to move the mother, I think, in apple cider vinegar. This is fermentation, so I don't know what is the name of that thing, but I like to mix it before using it, right? And this is more advanced because it smells very strong, very, very strong, but you get used to it. It's quite something. Like, it's not for everybody, but again, at the beginning it's like something else, but when you reverse the program, then it becomes like, right now it's Sunday, we had a party yesterday, I don't have my kids today, it's my like free day, rest day, and I just, okay, I take an hour to go under the sun, and I bring my Shivambu. It's like my moment, my reward, literally. So this is something very, very powerful. And I have one that is even older. It's almost, look how dark it is. So that one is from December. So it's like almost like 8-9 months old. And I have an idea before finishing it. I think I will just keep some at the bottom and just urinate again in it than to use what's there. Like, you know, like people that do sourdough or something, like they use the same bacteria, and to instead of starting a new jar from scratch, I will reuse the end of it. I never heard anybody talking about that, but I will try it out. And also when you do fermentation, right, it says sometimes some type of fermentation, it needs like aerobic bacteria, it needs to breathe. So at the beginning I was opening my jar every day and make sure it was breathing, but apparently it's not required because it's so much like care to give air to your urine every day. So I just stopped doing it. So I just keep the lid closed. And inside my house, I have a near red infrared light where I keep that like on the desk with my red light close to keep it warm, so it can ferment even indoor, like if it was the sun, keeping it warm to keep the cycle of fermentation there even in winter, because in winter if you just leave that in your house it's too cold. So it's like to keep it warm, like that red light, like for the chicken, right? So I have my red light to keep that to keep the fermentation process 24/7. So yeah, so this is I will do a quick, like if you're sensitive just stop watching, disclaimer. So this is my older one, so you can drink it obviously, and you don't need a lot. This is so potent, and apparently drinking is not the best method. There's even people that snort it because it doesn't kill the stem cells with your stomach acid. Okay, so cheers to that. So again, you get used to it. Like if it was your first time, you would probably be throwing up, but you build resistance, or you know, not resistance, you build, when you become aligned again, it just become natural to do that. So this is to me like a massive, and I feel good. You need to be in touch with your body and see how it feels when you do those type of things. So this is what it is. Something that I like to use as well is a spray bottle in the summer like that, just to put on my face like that, on my beard, on my hair, my scalp, on my whole body. And it works in with the sun. You know, there's a couple of clouds, it's not like super direct sun, but this is so blissful. Feels so good that, again, you cannot really express that with word. But to the common human around, like right now, I'm blessed because the neighbor is very private yard, backyard that I have, so neighbors don't see anything in the in this backyard. But this is considered like crazy by the typical Agent Smith in the Matrix, right? But it's not. So everything has been inverted. They are the crazy one to not take advantage of that. It's free and it's powerful, and something again that Dr. Group next level idea is to use a syringe like that. Okay, and I will use this one, fermented about a couple of months. So this is 60 millimeters. So I like to always be super grateful, mindful, and intention, do a little ceremony protocols, and this is for enemas. So I could do it now, I won't do it, it's like not necessary, but I could legit, as I stand here, just put down my shorts, put it in my butthole with that little thing and inject it inside of me. I will do it later after the video. It's not necessary for me to do it like live on camera, it's not necessary, but I will do it. I won't waste that. But with an enema, you bypass, it's direct into your anus, and it's the more direct way to absorb medicine. So you pour that into your butthole and you keep it as long as you can. But me, I can just do it. I keep it and I don't even go to the toilet after. I go with my day and I hold it until I go to poop. But I take all of it and I absorb it. So that is something powerful. But it's not because you do that. Let's say if you're not mindful, you're not aligned with that, you can be just doing it mechanically. And according to the teachings I received from our spirit guide during a channeling, it could be not useful to do it like un coup d'épée dans l'eau, like you do it, but there's no big effect because you're not fully aligned with this ancient practice and knowledge. So it's not just about doing things like a robot. It's about to be aligned with it, to be intentional, and to put a lot of consciousness into it while you do this kind of sacred practice. Otherwise, it's not harmful, but you might be doing it and with not much effect. So this is an additional layer that I want to add that Dr. Gu does not talk about. So you just say you do it and boom, you know, but me, the layer that I want to add more into this video is that alignment. You need to be aligned. So if worst come to worst, you do it with little to no effect. And in the best case scenario, it has a huge positive effect on your health, vitality, longevity, loaded with stem cells. It's like, and it's free. So again, because of my son, back in 2013 when I realized he had autism, long story, and I spoke about that in other videos, I went into that biohacking rabbit hole. And long story short, the most powerful practices that you can do are free, like fasting, super powerful, urine, it's free. So you can be poor, you can be a billionaire, and you're on the same level, in the same playground about that. So it has nothing to do like, oh, I don't have money, so the billionaire, they can afford expensive treatment. Yeah, but no, like you have access to that as well. So this is the message I want to send out there. So am I forgetting something? No, not really. So I think I will end this video here. I spoke about most of it. And again, with that, I don't put DMSO in it. DMSO is just when I put it like in the shower. And also like in the shower, I just use fresh urine because fermented smells so strong that it smells too strong inside the house. And I don't live alone, so you need to be respectful for the people that lives with you because it's very uncomfortable for people like to smell that. But when you're alone, even now, like it smells, to me it smells amazing, and I just enjoy it so much because again, I used to have a horse. He passed away when like 85 years ago already, and I had him for pretty much most of my life, from when he was 6 to almost 30 something years old as a teenager, and he passed like recently. So I had that horse for most of my life. So I spent so much time in nature with horses and in stables, and this smells like horse. It smells like, it's remind me my childhood memories with horses when I was just cleaning the stable because they urinate a lot. They're big animals, and when you clean their box, and it smells that, and it's very enjoyable actually to me. So it's all subjective, obviously. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video. I had the call to do this one for some reason, so I always follow my inner guidance. I hope that you learned something additional to this, because now it's going quote-unquote viral, not viral, but more common on the internet. And I expect for the years to come that will keep increasing, like the snowball effect. So I want to keep participating into that snowball, Shivambu Kalpa snowball that is growing online, and to anchor this as a common practice and to normalize that, because it's not crazy. To me, not benefiting from this is crazy to me in my subjective reality. So I hope if it resonates, it resonates. If it doesn't resonate, then move on and keep up with your life. But if you are still here after all this time, 30 minutes, there's a reason to it. So you were ready to receive that transmission. So that's it for this one. We'll wrap it. It's a wrap. So sending you a lot of love, light, strength, health, vitality, because physicality is key. And in the spiritual community, like, there's a lot of bullshit. Obviously, the more that I'm on my path, the more crazy things are, and I try to keep things as much as sane and grounded as possible. But yeah, it goes in like every direction. But again, so far so good for me, and I'm very aligned, very anchored in the physical. Things are doing very well for me. Family, business, everything grounded. Things are progressing well. So this is my indicator that I am doing something good, and that I am not just lost into woo land, according to the reflection I get from my hologram and the people around me that are doing well around me and that are thriving with me. So this is your indicator to know if you are like a feedback mechanism to see where you stand on your path. So that's another tip that I can give. So yeah, that's it. Love, light, strength, and see you again in divine timing as always.